Hi everyone, Danielle here, and thought I would just pop in and show you what I'm doing. I was making some soup for lunch today and thought I would pop on and show you what I was making. So I am doing a butternut squash soup, and I'm making it in our amazing cooking blender. So what I did was I actually roasted my squash this morning. Sometimes I'll be honest, if I forget and I don't have time, I'll just throw everything in the blender. But I really like when I can take the time and roast the vegetables because it just adds a really great depth of flavor to your soup. So this is what I got. Vintage piece of stoneware here with the cranberry. So all I did was I took butternut squash, an onion that I wedged, and 2 cloves of garlic that I just cut in half. Put a little drizzle of olive oil on it, a little bit of salt, and then I like to use 1.5 teaspoons of curry powder. So that's my main flavor. And then I just put it all in here and pop it into the oven, usually about 325 for around an hour or so. Kind of once it starts, lightly browning and caramelizing, that's what you want because you want all the sweetness coming out of it. Now, my tip for making super easy butternut squash soup is this. So I don't buy a butternut squash and worry about peeling it and cutting it. I just take the PC bag, open it up, throw it all in, and pop it in the oven. Now, as I said, if I didn't have time to roast the veggies, I would put the frozen butternut squash right in here with all my other ingredients and get the soup cooking. So you can kind of go either way, but as I said, I really like roasting it because it just really adds a great depth of flavor. So my soup recipe is really simple. As I said, it is butternut squash. There's an onion, 2 cloves of garlic, 1.5 teaspoons of curry powder, a little bit of salt, and then we're going to add, take my blender, I'm going to take 4 cups of chicken broth. We're going to pour that in, like that. And I'm going to take my squash mixture, and that all is going to go in to the blender. And then my last ingredient is I add some fresh apple to it. And this time of year, it's so awesome because you can get apples right off the tree from the orchard. So they're super fresh. I like using Cortland's because they do add a little bit of tartness, but also a little bit of sweetness to it as well. You could certainly use Gala apples. If you like it more tart, you can do a Granny Smith. So take your apple, take your amazing apple wedger right on top like this. And then when your apple is like that, it doesn't go all the way through the bottom. It's not supposed to. So all you do is you take your thumbs, don't start pulling it down here because this is really sharp. Take your thumbs, put it on your core, and just push it back down through, okay? And now if you need to take it somewhere or the kids are taking it to school, it all fits back together and you can wrap it up. And then when you go to eat it, there's your core, okay? So I take my apple, raw apple, it's all going in there. Like that. Probably add another half because it's pretty full. There we go, like that. And we're all set. Okay, so I'm gonna pop this on. Ooh, I need my lid. There we go. Be right back. So when I do soups, I actually like using this funnel feature on the lid instead of the regular cap. And the reason being is if I happen to overfill my blender a little bit, then I'm not going to have spillage because it's going to contain in here. This is actually meant for altitude cooking, so people that are in the mountains, like out in Alberta, because things rise higher with the altitude. So I like to use this feature when I'm putting my soup on. So let me just move this over here, bring the blender over. Just going to put the blender on. So, turn it around so you guys can see it. Lid goes on. Okay, it sings to you. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it and I'm going to turn it to soup. Like that. So if you guys can see here, it says 212 degrees. That's the temperature that it's going to cook the soup to. So all I do is I press the start button and away it goes. And then I go back to work and I come back. Hold on 1 second. There we go. So it's going to heat and then blend. And heat and then blend. And it's going to cook it up to 212 degrees. It's going to take 30 minutes. So in about 25 after 12, my soup will be ready. And I haven't really had to do anything. So this is amazing, amazing this time of year. Because if you have veggies from the garden, like let's say you got extra tomatoes, throw your tomato. 1 second. Throw your tomatoes in it. You can make like a vegetable soup if you've got tomatoes that are starting to go wrinkly and your zucchini starting to go wrinkly, and throw some carrots and pepper and onion and garlic. You can make really any kind of soup. As for the skins, yeah, leave the skins on. You don't have to peel. So if I was doing a regular butternut squash, I would probably leave the skin on and I wouldn't even peel it. I've done, 1 second. I've done pumpkin puree where I don't peel the pumpkin. I just cut up the pumpkin into chunks and put it in. So you can do that. You can do that as well. But this is awesome for getting like a nice hot lunch in no time flat. So if you see here, you see that it's at 106. So it's already heated the ingredients to 106. And so it will heat it to 212. And yes, you don't have to take the skins off anything, the apple, none of that stuff. It will blend till it's pureed. You wouldn't even know. So I will show you guys the finished product when it's all done. So hope you're having a fantastic day and have a wonderful afternoon. We'll talk to you later. Cheers.